Have you ever had your worst fear um, actually happen? Or have you ever rehearsed a conversation you were going to say to maybe a loved one, or you didn't want to let them down, but you knew you had to, so you rehearsed it, you rehearsed their reaction, and or you knew that you were going to do something that maybe a loved one did not want you to do, and so you rehearsed their reaction after they found out. I can remember when I was a child, and I was told not to get into the cookie jar. Into the cookies, and I wanted a cookie, and I knew that I just rehearsed everything that was going to happen pretty much after I ate the cookie, and it was going to be a lie that was told, and I rehearsed, you know, them finding out, and then about the lie and me getting in trouble, and I still ate the cookie, and of course everything that I thought of, I got a whooping. I ate that cookie. I did something I knew I wasn't supposed to do. I rehearsed um, all of that. But, and then I had other memories of, having to tell someone, or even making up a story, a lie, or something like that, and rehearsing, their response so I can always have an answer. How much of that reaction or that energy did I create? And when we look at whether our thoughts create our world, you'd be surprised when you start thinking intentionally. When there's intentional things that you want to see, such as you put life into the stories. And when I say life, I mean love. Reaction of a hug or kiss, or if there's a thought that comes up that is not advantageous to the outcome, have you ever thought about putting something intentional into that, and maybe changing the thought? Just switch it up to how you would want the outcome to be, and think that over and over, just a pleasant outcome, and then see what your reality will present you after that. When we look at whether thoughts actually our thoughts, whether they can create our world, I have to say there's a yes and a no. It's more than just the thoughts that create our world, because thoughts come and go, right? There's a lot of things that can come in that you don't give any credence to, but what are the thoughts that play over and over? What is the difference between the thought that just comes and goes like the clouds, which all of them do really, but then there's other thoughts that persist, that just replays over and over and over in your mind? What is the difference between those kind of thoughts and the thoughts that just fly in and fly out? I have to say that the difference is the belief. Are we holding on to something? Is there something that's being held on to? Because sure enough, you could have thoughts that come in that that means nothing. It could tell you something like, "Oh, look at the sky is purple," and you're like, "Well, that's just not. I don't have any belief. That doesn't do anything." But another thought that may be very deep that's telling you can't do it, or you're not good enough, or anything of that sort, or anything, or just replaying an experience over and over. How much belief do we have in those thoughts, and how much did they create our world? These are the thoughts that can have impacts on your reality, because thoughts are very powerful if you have a couple them with your belief. You can either have intentional thoughts, or you can hold on to the belief of something that's not true. And I have to say that yes, thoughts can create your world. So it's good as you're going through your day. There may be things, birds may be chirping, the clouds may be coming in and going, but it just observe, be the witness and observe yourself. Observe what you have a tendency to pay attention to and what thoughts you tend to just let go, And after you observe that, try to stay in the moment, in a space where if the thoughts come in, you're still in the present. You stay in the present. You're not tending to what's happening inside of your head. And if you notice that there's some suffering, some agitation, observe the thought that caused that. And then observe what's behind that thought. What belief? What did I believe in when I had the agitation in regards to that thought? What came up, And what did I respond to? Why did I respond that way? And also, when things come up, say for instance, a bill, maybe you were overcharged or someone told you something. Observe your reactions. What is your belief about what is it that you perceive that is not satisfactory or that's not a good experience? What belief do you have about it that causes the reaction that you had? Because these are the things that create the energy or the experience, is your reaction to it or your belief to it. It's going to basically be the basis of why you're responding the way that you are. Are you responding in love or happiness? Not everything is going to be joyful. I mean, you hear things, someone hear bad news about a loved one. You're not going to be like, oh, wonderful. This is just, No. But you could cultivate a belief about it. I mean, it can be doomsday or I know everything will work out. Regardless of what I see, I know that it will be okay, Now that's a belief to, anything. You can have a call or say for instance, something happened. You heard it, There's always a response that you can have or a response to not to respond, really. But it's the belief behind whatever situation that you're dealing with, It will cultivate your world, and how you respond, how you approach the universe is letting the universe know, basically what you put out there is what you want back. If you're putting out love, of course, love is going to attract love. You're putting out worry, worry is going to attract worrisome things, You're putting out sadness, you're putting out, gloom and doom, oh, woe is me. All these things are reflective in your world, and it will affect how you perceive the things that you're dealing with you're going through, How your world is created. It is inward first before it's outward. Because I've said it a lot of different times, you could put 100 people in the room and they'll have 100 different perspectives on what they saw. If there was, some type of event. Some people will see nothing, others, and from then on, you got a range of things. So yes, I would have to say your thoughts can create your world. And also your thoughts don't have to create your world, But oftentimes they do. And so what we can do is just basically observe what we are basically let go, really. After observe, just let go. Let go of trying to cling on to anything. Because oftentimes what we do, we have an event, a perceived event, and we'll put it like that, experience will come. And in order to create the experience we want, we'll try to cling on to, let's say for instance, you want a cheaper bill. What do? We call around and try to get the right provider who's going to give us the outcome that we want. But say, for instance, there's just no one there. At some point, we have to let go. We have to let go and allow, things happen. You have to just step back from it. You can't control everything. We can't control every experience. We can't perseverate on everything. Let it be, And if you can fix it, I say, if there's something you want to do to help, not just, be a pushover in life, but if it's something to do it and then let it go. It shouldn't stay here. We shouldn't still be upset about, I can't believe they did that. I can't, just perseverating on that emotion of feeling like someone did something to me. It's real easy and it's real subtle sometimes, that control, the ego. Wants to control things, wants to dig in there, get in there, jump in there, try to make an environment that's pleasant. But sometimes it's okay to let it burn, Oftentimes, when you let it burn, what happens when a forest burns? It blooms so beautifully the next year. It may be one year that it's just barren. But what happens when those ashes seep down deep into the dirt, mineralizes that soil, and then the rain comes, and then the beauty sprouts out from there. So everything doesn't need to be controlled. Not all situations need to be handled immediately. Allow the universe to just go with the flow. Let it be done or undone. It's all okay. It's all okay. And you can create, your thoughts can create your world. The belief of those thoughts. And you can be intentional about, I do. If there's something, there's an outcome that I'd rather see. If there was something that came through and it's something that is a remnant of something that I used to suffer over, I'll just replace it with something beautiful. And then move on. I don't just keep perseverating like I'm trying to, control the situation. I'll just replace it with a pleasant aroma of love. I'll just cover that thought with beauty and love. And then move on. Let go. I don't hold on to it because that's the ego also. And so, I just wanted to leave you with that. That's one of the things that I just challenge you this week, and is to observe your thoughts and observe which ones are causing any suffering, and why, the reason behind it, and then be prepared to go ahead and let that go, and then be intentional about, seeing things in a good ending, no matter if it's already happened or it's something that you have been struggling with in the area of fear. Go ahead and replace it with something good until you feel it, and then just let it go. So anyway, thank you for watching this video and sharing this moment with me. Remember that you are beautiful, and remember that I love you. Bye.